let's talk about the Pixel 6a. This phone is going to be a banger. This design is gorgeous. $450, and I think the only other phone that competes with design at this price range is the Nothing phone. It looks very similar to the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. This bump is a little less bumpy. The overall phone is slightly smaller, so you can hold it with one hand no problem. I personally like smaller phones, so I feel like the Pixel 6 is a little too big for my hands, but the Pixel 6a is just right. It's a little bit bigger than my iPhone 8, and I think I kind of want this phone. The biggest differences I see between the Pixel 4a and the Pixel 6a is glass, not plastic. The fingerprint sensor is missing from the back. They put it under the screen, which I personally don't like. I pull my phone out of my pocket with my finger right on the fingerprint sensor, so I would actually prefer the fingerprint sensor to be on the back. We're missing a headphone jack that was on the 4A, which is sad to see go, so that's gonna lose some points there. You get your typical USB Type-C port, and that is pretty much it. No SD card, just a SIM card slot. You lose out on wireless charging, but because they didn't waste space for wireless charging, you get a 4400 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty dang good. And with the Tensor chip, you're going to enjoy that 4400 milliamp hour battery because the Tensor chip is very efficient. Also, it has a 60 Hz screen, which is much more efficient than having a 90 Hz or 120 Hz screen. You really don't need that on a phone. Some people really like that smoothness. I couldn't care less. It's a phone. To each their own, but you're gonna enjoy this battery life. It's going to be excellent. And there is no accent color on the power button, which is sad to see go. I think it would have really been cool to see this color or this color on the power button. Maybe that's too much color. I like the accented power button. I think it added a little bit of style, and this phone is all about the style. I say that because if you're going for a budget phone like a $450 phone, shouldn't you have a plastic back? This is all glass, so it feels premium. It feels dense in the hands. It's weighty. It's well balanced. But a plastic back would prevent it from breaking, therefore budget. Plastic would also be cheaper than glass. So the fact that you're getting all these features in a $450 phone that's pretty good. As far as specs go, you're still getting the Tensor chip from Google, which is an excellent chip. It's going to enable you to do a lot more, and because of the glass back and glass screen, you're going to be able to dissipate the heat from that more powerful flagship chip in a $450 phone. You're getting dual cameras, which is an upgrade over the Pixel 4a or 5a. This is a 12 megapixel sensor that has been in the Pixel line since the Pixel 2. Google's software is very familiar with the sensor, and it's always been great pictures, so we're expecting really good pictures out of this phone, just like we've had since the Pixel 2. But it's not going to be like the 50 megapixel sensor in the Pixel 6. It's still going to be a 12 megapixel picture like the Pixel 6 because they've been down those 50 megapixels into 12 megapixels in order to save space. So you're not really getting any advantage out of the Pixel 6 over the Pixel 6a. So it makes you question if this is as stylish, if this is as premium, if this has just as good of a camera as the Pixel 6, why buy the Pixel 6? Now let me tell you why we bought this. We had the Pixel 4a and Maddie broke the screen. It was going to cost $180-ish to buy a screen to fix it, and I'd have to fix it myself, otherwise I'd have to pay $200 plus tax in order for somebody else to fix it. This was around $200 plus tax and shipping to trade in the Pixel 4a for this Pixel 6a. So it was basically the same price to fix it as to recycle the 4a and get a brand new 6a. It was a no-brainer. We went ahead and got this. Now this is not going to me. This is not actually going to Maddie. This is going to someone in our family. They're gonna absolutely love this phone. It's a big upgrade for them. They get the added benefit of having that clean vanilla Android. Well, we're not to vanilla yet. This is a very good phone for $450. This is not a review, this is a first impressions. I'm not gonna have the phone long enough to review it. I just wanted to show you guys and tell you guys that I'm excited about this phone. And here in a month, I'll update you in a YouTube short saying whether or not that family member enjoys this phone. But based on Maddie's experience with the Pixel 6 and several of my other friends' experience with their Pixel 6 Pros, I imagine having the same Tensor chip in a $450 phone that we spent $200 on, we're not going to be upset with the performance of this phone. This phone is going to be a banger. I'm Will, and I will see you guys later.